What is up, my bodyweight warriors, and welcome back to another video. The reason we are in here and not out there is mainly because the microphone stopped working for some unbeknown reason. Anyway, starting off this day of eating with some absolute stupidity, shin kicking the chair, but we didn't get this out of it. So, there's that. Enough of that, back to the handstand session. So I'm currently fasted today. It is about midday as of now, which means this is a fasted handstand training session. The reason for that is that currently, the past week or two, I've basically been doing a bit more of a grease the groove style of handstand training. This is thanks to Matt Smith, who I had a session with the other day, and I'll link him down below. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm doing 2 to 3 handstand sessions a day. One kind of mid-morning after I've done a little bit of work as a break, then I'll have breakfast, which we're about to do now, and then maybe one in the middle of the day. And if I got a strength training session in that day as well, I will train in the evening and add a short handstand session beforehand. More about that in the upcoming Road to 1 handstand video, probably in the next 2 or 3 videos. Now it is time for breakfast. So breakfast wise, I just chucked this in this morning as I was doing some work before my handstand session. Just a very, very simple roast chicken. All I do is whack sea salt, black pepper, and olive oil on top. The nice thing I like about roast chicken is, one, it is super simple. The prep for this is all of about 2 minutes to chuck it in the oven, and then you can kind of do whatever when it cooks. Plus, this chicken here will probably do me 3 meals as well. So I'll make a meal now, and I'll put it in the fridge, and I can just come back to it whenever I want. And I can also make a really good broth out of the carcass. So it's just one of those really simple prep foods to make meals easier. Right, so you have seen now basically what the breakfast looks like. Chicken leg, chicken wings, some leftover chicken, and then I quickly fried up some carbonara with some balsamic vinegar and butter. So you may be thinking, cool, this looks like the usual breakfast. High protein, high fat, well actually slightly lower fat, and some veggies. As you can probably tell by the title of today's video, we're not necessarily going to be sticking to the usual, I'm going to say dogma, it's just how it works for me. Lower carb in the morning and higher fat, higher protein, because I'm doing multiple training sessions in a day and of the same body part. I need to refuel for later sessions. So I'm not just gonna survive on this, I need some calories, which is why part 2 of this meal is the beautiful granola, berries, and Greek yogurt with a shitload of almond butter sprinkled or drizzled on top. Probably the most important thing is there's a fair amount of carbs in here, like 50 grams of carbs. I need something, especially because I'm training the same body part between each session. Otherwise, I'm just gonna die by the end of the day, and it's also not gonna support my overall goal, which is actually to gain mass. But before I forget, calories for this entire meal right here are gonna be on the screen now. In total, it was around 78 grams of protein, 74 grams of carbohydrates, and 73 grams of fat. So all around pretty level meal for a grand total around 1,400 calories. So in my opinion, that's a decent breakfast. After this meal, some work, I'll catch you later. Now, this isn't actually the first time I've played with twice a day training. I have done it in the past. I've got a love-hate relationship with it. Generally, I find it very, very taxing. That's the general rule of thumb, but I've only ever done it before with strength training. I used to do it when I was working as a user experience or web designer at a web agency. There's a complete floor right below where I worked, and it was empty. So I used to go down there at lunch. I'd do like a handstand and mobility session, go back up, work for the rest of the afternoon, and after work I would hit the gym and do a little bit more handstands and my strength session. So almost very similar to what I plan on doing at the moment. The only mistake I made with this one is that I just didn't fuel enough. I didn't eat enough to actually support the exercise that I was doing. Training twice per day. Training twice per day is much more stressful on your CNS. And it's not necessarily about the fact that you're burning more calories, you just generally need more calories to fuel that day's activity, especially as I said beforehand, if you're training the same muscle groups multiple times a day, i.e. doing handstands, that's a lot of shoulders multiple times a day. So hopefully you guys get the idea. Twice a day, 2 or 3 times a day training, probably will be until I get one arm handstand. It's like the final push to really make sure I nail it. I know it may seem that I'm only able to do this because I work from home and I have control of my own hours, but as I mentioned, I did find it very useful when I was working to help reduce the length of the sessions that I had to do after I finished work and I just wanted to get home and eat. I managed to squeeze in an hour at lunch to reduce that time. So maybe it might work for some people. So we're back now. The chicken stock is basically done, so that is that golden goodness in there. That's been on for like the last 4 hours. All I did was chuck the chicken cugs in with some black peppercorns, a little bit of salt, and apple cider vinegar. It's like the world's easiest thing. But they added collagen, all the other minerals and other goodness that comes with broth. Right, it is now like 4 o'clock. I'm gonna do some things, get changed, and then probably just head to the gym, see what I can do with legs. With the hip injury, I think I should be fine. And then also now we've got to consider the shin injury from where I decided to karate kick the friggin' chair earlier. And then probably chill, have a sauna and a cold shower. Let's go hit the gym. Hello. Right, so we are back home now and we've got the post-workout number 1. I drank this on the way home. Is some pineapple juice, actually just half a litre, half of this bottle. It's his favourite game. And then to go with that, protein shake, 2 scoops of whey, just cheap protein at the end of the day, quick and easy. Nothing major for post-workout because we're about to eat in probably half an hour or so. So it's just like, you know, maybe a starter. So dinner is gonna just be leftovers basically. Yesterday I made a massive chili, which is what this box is, with 1.2 kilos of beef mince. So for me that's gonna be 3 or 4 meals depending on how hungry I am. Today I'm quite hungry, so it's gonna be 400 grams of mince-ish. And then I've got some leftover rice here, and I'll probably just cook a bunch more rice as well. Whack it all in a bowl, it's gonna taste amazing. Right, that is dinner basically done. A massive bowl of chili rice, some Greek yogurt, some cheese, some avocado. This seems to be a staple on these days of eating, and it kind of is just generally because it's such an easy meal to do. When I was at uni and I had more time to think about food and nutrition, I would probably cook all of my meals from scratch, and I kind of enjoyed doing that. And now running a business and coaching people and making YouTube videos and having like a lot to think about. It's nice not to think about food sometimes, and I'm sure there's a lot of people watching these videos who probably feel the same way. This chili recipe, roasted chicken, a few others, like if you can get your staples in, everything else becomes a lot easier and frees up some of that mental energy to spend on other stuff. As for the meal itself, I don't know the exact macronutrients, but they will be on screen as I'm talking. I am also going to have 40 grams of 70% dark chocolate for dessert, which is like another 200 calories. So in total, dinner is going to be around 1,700 calories, which brings Today's grand total up to about 3,600, 3,700-ish, which I think is a pretty decent day of eating. Prior to this, I've been striving for about 3,000 to 3,500 calories a day, give or take, but I don't think it's quite enough for gaining mass, especially with the multiple sessions a day. It's going to make things harder, so I am going to up calories. I think probably closer to 4,000 calories a day seems to be where I need to be at. But that's been it for this week, guys. If you enjoyed this video, if you're enjoying the day of eatings, why not leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. If you have any more questions that you want me to answer when it comes to mass gain, nutrition, whatever it is in general, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Whilst you're down there, you can also hit that thumbs up button and support the channel. Right next to it is that subscribe button if you're going to join the Bodyweight Warrior tribe. We're getting so close to that 250k mark. But that has been it for this week, guys. I'll catch you in the next episode. Have a strong week and peace.